You know, the historic significance of this potential sale of the U.S. Steel to Nippon Steel in Japan is still reverberating. The president yesterday saying that he believes that sale warrants serious scrutiny. And apparently this iconic name, which used to be one of our biggest companies, in fact, for a while, the biggest company on planet Earth, and falling into foreign hands is not going that well. Even though the Japanese are our friends, et cetera, it's not as if it's going to China. It is catching people by surprise, including my next guest, who had very little heads up on it. David McCall is the president of the United Steelworkers, kind enough to join us. Mr. McCall, good to have you.
Good afternoon.
What was your reaction when you heard, and how did you hear?
Well, I actually got a phone call from the CEO at U.S. Steel at 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning, after they had already put out their press release, telling us that they had a transaction with Nippon. And it violates several provisions of our collective bargaining agreement by both U.S. Steel and Nippon. They're supposed to be informed of these kinds of transactions if it's changing control or any business changes. So obviously our concern is about the long-term stability of our facilities and the pensions of our members, the employment security of our current members, and the retiree health care going forward. We don't know what the commitments that Nippon's willing to make, and under our collective bargaining agreement, it violates it. And of course, because U.S. Steel supplies exposed automotive and other important items in the American economy, such as tin products and some military-grade products as well, it certainly has issues around national security and domestic supply chain issues, too.
But you know what's weird about it is, like I said, you got a call that morning, and not much more than that. I'm just curious, did you hear, or have you or any of your representatives talk to anyone at Nippon?
We have not spoken to them yet. We've reached out to them.
Even now? This is days ago this happened.
It happened on Monday. We have not yet met with them.
Wow. Are you surprised?
We're more than surprised, disappointed, and as I said, it's a violation of our collective bargaining agreement. There's real issues for us, so within our collective bargaining agreement, we think we have some avenues to be able to make sure that we secure the promises that have been made through the collective bargaining agreement over the year.
You had mentioned not too long ago, obviously we're really concerned about a foreign company all of a sudden owning U.S. Steel. A lot of other people go back and remember just the iconic nature of U.S. Steel and its role in American history, particularly its role in rebuilding our defenses after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. I know that was then, and I think you've even said, you know, that's a long, long time ago, but still it raises questions about timing. And one of the things I often hear, and I don't know if you've heard the same, Mr. McCall, is at least it's not China, it's a friend. What do you make of that?
Well, here's some of the concerns. First of all, let me say that we think trade is a good thing, and our facilities are some of the most productive facilities in the world. We'll compete with anybody on any level playing field. But we currently have dozens of anti-dumping and countervailing duties against Japan, and some of the products that they send into this country that are illegally traded, where they have either subsidized the products within their country, or they're selling below market prices. So they are an ally, but maybe not an economic ally as it comes to domestic supply chain issues and national security issues as well.
You know, Mr. McCall, we've learned that Senator Bob Casey led, a Pennsylvania politician delegation letter, that's the best way I can describe it, to the president of Nippon, talking about what their intentions are for workers, union members. I think to that extent, whether Nippon will honor your contracts and collective bargaining agreement as they stand. I don't know if he's heard back. We're efforting him on the show as well. But you would think that contract law states that you have to, that if you're going to take over a company, then any of its agreements and contracts have to be honored as well. Is that a given?
Well, I suspect it has to be, how do you enforce that against a foreign-owned company? Would be the first question you would ask. And you know, whatever their intentions are, when they were on the call on Monday morning, the representative from Nippon said that in many cases, they were going to transfer work from our current facilities to other non-union facilities. And, the U.S. Steel, over the last several years, has shut down a lot of their steelmaking facilities here in the U.S.
Right.
Does that open up more transfers from Japan into our U.S. domestic market? I'm not sure what their intentions are because, as I said, they haven't spoken to us yet.
Well, sir, we would love to speak to you again, maybe get an update on this. But in the meantime, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, your members, workers, U.S. Steel as well, all good folks. David McCall, the United Steelworkers